Welcome to viewers of Dr. Ratan Talks. And today I am very fortunate to have my own associate of last 2 decades. And we are together at NTPC, PHL, IP, number of programs, including our RGPS and PATAVI and VCBM. And he's NLP certified international trainer. And he's having about nearly 2 to 3 decades of experience. He's a very practical person. He started his career from Badrika College. From there, we associated from last 20 years. And he is having very effective skills, including Mahabharata also. Bhagavad Gita also is bringing one new book now. He's going to release shortly. And he's a very spiritual leader and very ethical values. And he also tells the people that without ethics and values, we cannot come up in the life. And he's talking about because communication without communication, and from birth to right for the death, communication is there. But how effective you communicate is very important. For example, today the war is going on. The media is actually giving us communication. Some media are giving very effective communication. So communication is the mantra. You might have seen earlier, Vajpayee is a very good communicator in the parliament. And Venkaiah Naidu is a very good person. And again, our CM also is a very good communicator. Because whatever other person wants in their view, you are able to come. And what is effective communication is going to speak. This is a very important topic for even political leaders or even corporate leaders, even the MBA students. And he is a master in MBA students and especially BHL and all. He has done a lot of programs, Navaratnas. Because of people like Maheshwar and others who have been effective communication that made our India, because one other day one Prime Minister has come to India and he's telling that the Indians are very good communicators. So really we are proud to say that most of the people, especially from our Telangana, and we have the masters. We are the masters because now most of the NRS all ask me, sir, why don't you, introduce some of the good speakers so that we have a lot of problems in the virtual. People are not coming personally, and we got invitation from the USA, UK, and Singapore, and most of the countries, and they are actually looking for such event. Then I thought, so for communication, effective communication, we have not got any session from last 50 sessions. Then I was waiting for Maheshwar. Maheshwar is also very busy, international speaker, and he's an NLP speaker and certified speaker, and he's authority on the subject. So now we request Maheshwar to speak about effective communication. And after this session, we are going to have another 20 minutes and public speaking for especially for political leaders and trade leaders. Okay, Maheshwar, please, you can start now.
Thank you very much, sir. It's my privilege and honor to be invited by you on this prestigious Ratan Talk show on YouTube, sir. Yeah. We have been associated for the last 20 to 25 years, as you said rightly. We have conducted a lot of programs. I really remember all those moments, sir. I consider you as one of my teachers in training, sir. I am really honored to be on the show, sir. So let me just start with the importance of communication, effective communication skills and the public speaking skills, sir. Just give me a moment. I'll just start my PowerPoint.
Yeah. Now you see?
Yes, just a moment, sir. Yes, sir.
I think there's one small link here.
Sir, can you see, sir? Can you see the PowerPoint?
Yeah, we are able to see.
Yes, sir. So, my dear participants, today I'm going to speak about one of my favorite subjects. This is about effective communication, the public speaking skills. Public speaking skills are very, very important for success in life. See, as we are all, trying to succeed in our, endeavors as an entrepreneur, as a professional, as a manager, we are supposed to have a lot of skills like decision-making skills, negotiation skills, public speaking skills, leadership skills. Among all the skills, public speaking skills rank at first place, because without public speaking skills, you can't express. You may be a great genius, you may be having a lot of knowledge, you may be having a lot of skills, you may be having a lot of ideas, but still, if you are not able to express yourself properly and convince the people around, convince the people who are in the key positions, or convince your customers, convince the higher ups, you will not be able to succeed and go up in the organizational hierarchy, or sell your ideas to the prospective investors. So, my dear friends, let me take you through a beautiful PowerPoint presentation about the importance and also the types of communication and also the different strategies to improve your presentation and public speaking skills. Now, what are the different skills that are required for success in life? See, already just now I told you that you need to have communication skills, team working skills, leadership skills, critical thinking skills, and then social skills, creativity, okay, and then interpersonal skills. But apart, among all the skills that are required to be possessed, communication skills ranks as the number one skill. In the process of reaching the higher levels of success in life. So, as we all know that good communication skills are very important, and let us see how these communication skills can be learned. So before I start, so let me just start with a quotation. This is my own quotation: communication is life, life is communication. Why communication is life? Because without communication, you just can't live. The moment you are born, okay, till the moment you die, you are all the time communicating. Even while you are sleeping, you are communicating with the posture. What you assume while you are sleeping, you communicate something. Your gestures, your facial expression, your body language, your dressing, yeah, your facial expression, everything communicates. When we say communication, a lot of people understand that it is only verbal communication. But not only verbal communication, non-verbal communication is also very, very important. So I say that communication is life, life is communication. So today, you believe it or not, because of the social media, communication explosion is happening. Wherever you go, whatever you do, you are communicating, 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 to your friends, to your peer group members, to your subordinates, with your higher ups. You're all the time communicating. So let me just tell you that public speaking skills, what are the public speaking skills, and what is the importance of these public speaking skills. So in communication skills, you have different skills, like the listening skills, speaking skills, writing skills, okay, reading skills, like that. So apart from among all the skills, the public speaking skills are the most sought after skills, because the public speaking skills and leadership skills go hand in hand. If you want to become a great leader, if you want to like have a lot of confidence, first of all you have to start with learning public speaking skills. Because if you are a good speaker, you're always a great leader. If you are a leader, you are a good speaker. That means public speaking skills and leadership skills go hand in hand, as it is shown in the PPT. Okay, you can just look at the picture. Public speaking helps improve the overall personality of a person. So if you want to develop the complete personality, comprehensive personality, so you have to start with learning the public speaking skills. Now, uh, like, if you want to understand what are all the different elements of public speaking, you have to start with understanding the communication model given by one of the professors, psychology professors from University of California, Los Angeles. His name is Professor Albert Mehrabian, a very famous model I'm trying to share with you today. So this is about the different elements of communication. See, when we speak, a lot of people understand that. A lot of people think that it is only our verbal communication matters. No. So apart from the verbal communication, there is a lot of weightage is given to the non-verbal communication. Here, if you can just see, how you look, okay, is given 55% of the weightage. That means your body language, your dressing, your gestures, your posture, all these things are given 55% of the weightage. Whereas how you sound, that is your voice, your voice modulation, okay, your punch and the power in the voice, also is given 38% of the weightage. Finally, only 7% of the weightage is given to the words, the phrases, the kind of language what you use. So this has become very, very popular model in the communication area. So if you want to understand, see, I'll just tell you one example. See, today, every parent wants to send the child to an English medium school. Okay. But we have to understand that just by sending a child to English medium school, okay, will not help the child to become a great public speaker. Because child can, pick up some good English. Okay. He'll be able to talk, okay, good English in his own circles, okay, in a small private circle. But if the child wants to become a great public speaker, he has to pick up the body language, the voice skills, and many more. So language itself is not enough. Okay, it will not help you to become a great public speaker. If you want to become a great public speaker, you need to work on the body language, you need to work on the voice. So let us proceed further and understand. So what is body language? So body language covers all these aspects, like, you have eye contact, you have posture, you have gesture, you have movement, you have facial expression, you have dress, etc., etc. So let me take up one by one. So what do you mean by eye contact? Okay, if you want to become a great speaker, first of all, you have to focus on the eye contact. What do you mean by eye contact? You have to look into the eyes of the person and speak. Okay, so we are not supposed to, as a great speakers, we are not supposed to look at the ceiling, or look at the floor, or look through the windows, or look through the doors, like that. We are supposed to concentrate on the audience. Every person, sitting in the audience should feel that the speaker is looking at me, speaker is speaking to me. So that kind of impression you should be able to create for the audiences. So whether it is interpersonal communication, whether it is public speaking, or whatever it is, you should be able to look into the eyes of the person and speak. So maintain the eye contact properly, then only your eyes speak. Okay, then only you will be able to express yourself properly, then only you will be able to convince the people properly. So eye contact is very, very, very important. The next and very important element of body language is the posture. Okay, a speech can be given, most of the time speeches are given in standing postures. How you stand, okay, with ease. Okay, the kind of the posture you maintain while you stand, it should not look like, you are taking it easy. Okay, you should impress people that you are very serious about what is going on, that is giving the speech. And your confident posture should be able to make a great impression on the subconscious minds of the people. So that posture, how you stand, and how you maintain yourself, how you carry yourself, also will make a lot of difference. And if you see a lot of speakers, okay, in the TEDx or in the TED platforms, okay, the way the speakers stand with so much of confidence, it inspires you. So that is the reason why posture makes a lot of difference. And my dear friends, coming to the next one is the gesture. So what do you mean by gesture? So gesture means the movement of any part of the body, mainly the head, or in this particular context, it means the hand movements, the way you move your hands. So hands should be free. For example, I'm showing you one photograph. If you are holding a mic with one hand, maybe with the right hand, or maybe with the left hand, the other hand is free. Or if you are having a collar mic, okay, both the hands should be free, okay, to express yourself. Your hands also should be able to express. Okay, so that is the reason why the gestures, okay, like whatever you're explaining, okay, like you're explaining with your voice, you're explaining with your hands also. The hands should be able to coordinate with your voice and express. Okay, help you express, about the concept what you are explaining. So that way, if you are a trained speaker, your hands automatically assume, okay, the different movements. You need not think and move your hands. So if you are a trained speaker, your hands automatically go up in the air, like in different movements. So this all comes through proper training and practice. So let me take you through another important aspect of body language: the way you move on the podium, the way you stand, the way you move. For example, if you are the only person on the stage, okay, like if the whole stage is yours, then as a speaker, as a motivational speaker, okay, as a celebrated speaker, you can utilize the entire space. Or in some context, if it is totally official meeting, okay, if you are supposed to stand at the podium, then stand at the podium, and then utilize the space given, and then you speak. So according to the situation, you have to act. So movement is one of the important aspects of body language. And coming to the most important aspect of body language is facial expression. So my dear friends, facial expression is very, very important. You express through your face, You express through your face. Your face should be able to express the kind of emotion. Okay, if you are talking about a serious emotion, if you are talking about humorous emotion, whatever it is, whatever maybe the emotion you're talking about, okay, whatever maybe the idea you're talking about, okay, your facial expression should be able to coordinate with the idea what you are expressing. So mostly, your facial expression should be, very friendly facial expression, okay, normally. And then when you are talking about extreme emotions, like when you are like explaining something very sad, for example, if you are talking about the war that is going on, okay, so your facial expression should be matching expression your face should be able to give. So like that, whatever it may be, whether you are talking about sad incident, whether you're trying to inspire people, whatever emotion you're talking about, you should be able to express through your face also. So a lot of people ask me, how do you express all the, how do you, coordinate all these things, sir? So it's all, it all comes through practice. And finally, my dear friends, let me tell you that the dressing part. So what is the importance of dressing? Even before you open your mouth, your dress, okay, I'm repeating, your dress speaks. Your dress speaks about you, about your authority on this subject. So that is the reason why when you are going to a professional circle, when you are going to make a great presentation, okay, so dress appropriately, dress in a dignified way, dress in a very presentable way. So dressing is very, very important. So just, there's a rule of first impression. Even if you, the first impression rule says that, okay, within a short span of 4 to 7 seconds, okay, people come to know that whether you are an authority on the subject, whether you have the enough stuff about the subject, whether you are serious about the subject or not. Okay, their subconscious minds, starts processing about all these things without your knowledge. That is the reason why I always tell that even before you open your mouth, your dress speaks. So I always advise my participants that, okay, dress appropriately, dress properly, dress in a dignified way, and dress in a very presentable way, so that you make a great first impression. So it's always said that first impressions are the best impression. You don't get the second chance to give first impression, and first impression is the last impression. So that is the reason why, my dear friends, dress appropriately. And if you look at, like in television, you see a lot of speakers coming all the day. Like, you see doctors speaking, you see, astrologers speaking, you see political leaders speaking, you see business leaders speaking, you see, motivational speakers speaking. Okay, like whoever may be speaking, okay, like, he would wear the kind of dress which is appropriate for his profession. If you see a doctor, you see doctor wearing an apron. And if you see a motivational speaker, motivational speaker always comes in a blazer. So like that, in a business suit. So like that, according to your profession, according to the situation, you have to dress yourself. So dressing is very, very important, my dear friends. So I repeat, so body language carries, 55% of the weightage in your interpersonal communication and public speaking skills. So I repeat these things: eye contact, the posture, the gestures, the movement, the facial expressions, and the dressing. And these are all the important aspects of body language, my dear friends. So please remember, 55% of the weightage is given to the body language. If you see, I can take the examples of the presidential candidates, fighting for the presidential election in US. So you see Mr. Barack Obama, or you see, Mr. Joe Biden, or, when they are giving electoral speeches, they come fully, completely appropriately dressed. Okay, you see Mr. Narendra Modi, the honorable prime minister of India, he will wear a very appropriate and presentable dress whenever, he comes and, addresses a gathering. So that is how, the dressing makes a lot of difference in your public speaking and presentation skills. So I will take you through another slide which will, explain about the voice. The second one is the voice. So voice and tonality carries 38% of the weightage. So why this 38% of the weightage is given to the voice, my dear friends? Because your voice is making a statement before any statements are made. Voice also, you must develop a kind of punch, you must develop a kind of power in your voice. Because as a motivational speaker, as an authority, if you want people to to take you as an authority in the subject, okay, you have to develop the voice, you have to train your voice, you have to develop, you have to cultivate that power, and you have to cultivate that punch in your voice. So then only you will be able to influence people. After all, why public speaking is learned, my dear friends? Public speaking is required if you want to become a leader, if you want to become an influencer, if you want to become a motivator, if you want to inspire people, if you want to motivate people, okay, you have to be a great speaker. And if you want to become a great speaker, voice makes a lot of difference. So, my dear friends, now let us understand what are all the aspects of what are all the different aspects of voice modulation. Volume, what do you mean by volume? As we increase or decrease the volume of our television set, okay, so at what level of volume you have to speak, so that is very very important. So if you are speaking for a small circle of 10 or 20 people, you should be able to speak at a low volume. Even if you are speaking at low volume, you will be able to reach to the audience present. But at the same time, if you're a trained speaker, even without having the mic, you should be able to speak to an audience consisting of 50 to 100 people. If you're a trained speaker, if your voice is strong, then the tonality, okay, what do you mean by the tone? The tone means the emotion, what you expressed in your voice is called tone. Okay, like the way, the kind of emotion what you, for example, I'll just demonstrate one word, like in different tones how it is used. For example, I take a word called thank you. So thank you can be said in different tones. For example, in a normal way, I say thank you. So thank you, sir. So thank you very much. So this is a normal way, you always thank the people by saying thank you. But if you raise the voice and if you change the tone, I can say thank you. Okay, thank you. I can just look at the person who is disturbing me, when I'm speaking. I can just look at the person like this. I can say, thank you. That means what? Okay, so you don't want the person to disturb you. Okay, instead of saying, don't disturb me, you are simply saying thank you in a different tone. When you say, so I always tell my participants that, okay, when you change the voice, when you change the tone, okay, the meaning changes. Okay, when the tone changes, meaning changes. So that is the reason why you can just call your subordinate with the different tones. For example, there is a subordinate by name Mr. John. Okay, so John, come here. John, come here. John. So like that, like in different tones, if you call out the name of the person, okay, the person who is listening to you, he will make out that, okay, there's a change in the tonality, and that change in the tonality means change in the meaning. So that means, okay, the tone is very very important. You have to train your voice, and you should be able to use different tone. My dear friends, the pace. The pace means the speed. At what speed we are supposed to speak? Should we speak uh, at a low speed, or should we speak at a high speed, or should we speak at a reasonable speed? It all depends. So whenever you want to highlight something, you can reduce the speed. Whenever you want to show some emotion, high emotion, you can increase the speed. Or whenever there is a normalcy in your voice, okay, whenever there is a normalcy, okay, you can just maintain a reasonable, you know, uh, speed. But whatever it is, the audience Okay, the way audience are able to understand the meaning what you are trying to express is important. So speak in that pace, speak in that speed, which is appropriate for the audience. If you're speaking, okay, and addressing, okay, the children or the college students, you speak little slowly. If you're speaking to an enlightened audience, if you're speaking to all professionals, you can speak a little, faster. Okay, they'll be able to pick up and understand your message. So, my dear friends, space can be adjusted according to the situation. And my dear friends, what is the pause? Pause is like the comma. When you are writing, you put, sometimes you put a comma. Comma means a gap. So while speaking also, okay, you put a comma. That comma is called the pause. Pause means you give a small gap of 1 or 2 seconds or 5 seconds. Why this pause is required? It is, it gives benefit to both the speaker and also the audiences. Okay, the members of the audience will get a small gap, okay, to digest and understand the the message what you're trying to give. Whereas, as a speaker, you will also get a breathing time, or if you want to have some water, okay, and you can take your water, just, okay, so that way you can use the pause. But whatever it is, pauses are important. Now, the clarity. What do you mean by clarity? So, whatever you are speaking, my dear friends, you have to speak with the clarity. Okay, there must be, okay, clarity in your voice, clarity in your pronunciation, clarity in your sentences, so clarity in your language. So this is another subject. Okay, whenever time permits, we'll go into details about this clarity. Now, coming to the next one is modulation. What is modulation? Okay, the way you raise your voice and down your voice, that's called voice modulation. So otherwise what will happen is, if you don't have the voice modulation in your speech, okay, your speech will become monotonous. Monotonous means, okay, speaking at same level of the voice. So if you're speaking at the same level of the voice, what will happen is, okay, people get bored. So that is the reason why you should have the ups and downs, okay, in your speech. So all the time, please understand, public speaking is like the tightrope walking. All the time, you are grabbing the attention of the audiences, and modulation is one of the strategies of grabbing the attention of the audience. So how you raise your voice, how you reduce your voice, it's called voice modulation. So, my dear friends, I'd like to just tell you that, okay, voice modulation is very, very important. For example, if you understand that, the attention is going down among the audiences, so you can immediately raise your voice and modulate your voice so that, you grab the attention back. Okay, so that is the reason why, my dear friends, voice modulation also becomes very, very important. And finally, my dear friends, it's about the non-words. Okay, most of the speakers, okay, they use non-words. What do you mean by non-words? Non-words are like this. In English language, people are accustomed to say, I mean, like, therefore. These are all some of the non-words. And oof, ur, these are all some of the non-words. Without our knowledge, every speaker will speak these non-words without his knowledge or her knowledge. We cannot avoid these non-words. Sometimes, because our mind takes a little time to process the idea and give you the right word, you may take little time to fill up that little gap. Okay, you may speak these non words, like, uh, I mean, therefore. These are all the non words. Oof. Okay, these are all the non words. You cannot completely avoid these non-words, my dear friends, but only thing is you can reduce these non-words with your knowledge. If you are a little more conscious, if you ask the feedback about your speech from your friends, and they will tell you which are all the non-words you're speaking. So when you understand that you are having these non-words in your speech, you can slowly, with your conscious effort, you will be able to reduce these non-words. But let me tell you, you cannot completely do away with non-words, but that's fine. But only thing is, reduction is possible, and reduction has to be done as far as the non-words are concerned. So let me tell you, my dear friends, again, that the voice part, okay, carries 38% of the weightage in your interpersonal communication. So, what are all the different aspects of voice? So, the value, the tonality, the pace, the pause, the clarity, modulation, and non words. So, this is about the 38% of the second component of interpersonal communication. So, let us go to the third part, or the content and structure. Okay, like as far as the 7% is concerned, okay, the way you structure your sentences, the way you structure your speech, the language, and all these things. Okay, let me just take you through the content and structure part. Now, how do you introduce the topic? You can introduce the topic in a very beautiful way, in a very interesting manner. You can use a quotation. You can use a news story. For example, you can talk about the Russia Ukraine war, or like you can pick up any news item from today's news, and you can build upon your idea. Or you can start with your own story. Your own stories are very compelling stories. I will just tell you my own story. Before becoming a trainer, I was not so confident about public speaking. Okay, one day, I thought that, "Arey, after all, public speaking is not a rocket science. Why I'm not confident?" I took a resolution that, from today onwards, wherever I get an opportunity, I will go on to the stage and speak. From that day onwards, in every function, in every seminar, in every stage show, I would go to the stage. Okay, whenever it is permitted, I would speak for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, like that. So from that day onwards, I started building up my confidence, and today I'm able to teach or train the people in public speaking as well as presentation skills, my dear friends. So your own story is a very compelling strategy to grab the attention. Why you have to introduce in a beautiful manner and interesting manner? Because when people come to your lecture, okay, their minds are totally not focused. So you want them to focus on your lecture, your speech. So you can start with a beautiful quotation, you can start with a news story, okay, you can start with your own story, okay, like a quotation given by Swami Vivekananda or any great personality, like that. You can use a quotation and you can start the speech. So introduction must be compelling, introduction must be interesting, introduction must be very beautiful. So introduction is very, very important. Now, coming to the next one, the clear map and structure. So, in any speech, the map or the kind of structure that you are going to follow, okay, it should have some basic things into it, like the kind of basic explanation, the background, and the latest developments, and then the pros and cons and merits and demerits and the future research or whatever it is. I'm just giving you a basic framework of any particular speech. According to the topic, the structure may differ. According to the idea what you are expressing, the structure may vary. But whatever may be the topic, whatever may be the idea you are trying to express, you have to have a proper structure, so that by the end of the lecture, people should feel that they have got the complete and comprehensive understanding of the idea. So this is about the clear map and structure, my dear friends. So already I have spoken about the language a little. So language must be a very, a presentable language you should use. So I always say that, in enlightened circles, you have to use the parliament, okay, like the the language that is acceptable, dignified, presentable. Okay, so language must be used in a proper way. So we are not supposed to use slang words or the colloquial words. Okay, you have to use proper language, because whatever you say, that will add up to your personality. If you are using, the words, what you use in your interpersonal communication with your friends, those words you are not supposed to use in, when you're speaking to an enlightened audience. So my dear friends, language also makes a lot of difference. Now coming to the audience involvement and rapport. What do you mean by rapport? Rapport means the moment you enter the hall, the moment you talk, the moment you just look at the people. Okay, you try to create a kind of subconscious, relationship with your audiences. So that is called a rapport. So a lot of people, a lot of good speakers, how do they create a kind of rapport between them and the audiences? They say good morning, okay, once, twice, and ask the audience to respond. So by asking the audiences to respond, but most of the time what happens when the speaker comes in a very formal way, he says good morning, nobody bothers, nobody responds. So when nobody is responding, as a speaker, you have to encourage people to respond by saying good morning again. So like that, you create a kind of rapport. You ask a question. So I was talking about introduction strategies. Okay, you can start with a question also. When you ask a question, people will come up with a lot of answers. So that is also a strategy of building up the rapport between you and the audiences. So audience involvement, you have to involve the audience. How do you involve audience? You have to post some little questions, and you have to seek answers, and gather some ideas from the audiences, whatever it is. Okay, so you can ask questions like this: did anybody come across this idea before? So like that, small questions. By asking small questions, by eliciting answers from the audiences, okay, by eliciting information, by eliciting some opinions from the audience, members of the audience, you are able to create a kind of a rapport, okay, between you and the members of the audience. So create a rapport. So it should not be just one way communication, my dear friends. It should be always a two-way communication. Okay, audience involvement and rapport, is very very important. If you look at the great speakers speaking to a big audience, you will see that the moment they come onto the stage, they create a kind of rapport with the audience. So that is a great strategy, okay, to make it very comfortable for the members of the audience. Now, coming to the humor. What is the place of humor in public speaking? So you can cut some jokes, you can tell some funny incidences, but whatever it is, okay. Like I always use a lot of humor. I always use humor and jokes, uh, in my presentations and in my speeches, to convey a deep point. Okay, like most of the time, I tell the jokes, and try to convey through that joke a deep idea. So that way, even if they forget the joke, even if they forget the idea, okay, they will remember the joke. The moment they remember the joke, okay, the idea also comes to their mind. So that humor is very very important, and funny incidences. But make it a point that, okay, you are not supposed to use those jokes which may hurt some sentiments of the members of the audiences. Don't use racial jokes. Don't use, for example, in India, I always tell my participants that don't use Sardarji jokes. Okay, even the courts have banned using Sardarji jokes. So that is the reason why just make it a point and not to use the jokes which may hurt the sentiments of the people in the audience. Now, the visual impact. Now, visual impact means, okay, you may be having a PowerPoint presentation, or in the PowerPoint present, you may be showing some videos. But whenever you show videos, okay, video should not have more than 2 minutes or 3 minutes duration, not more than 3 minutes. So there's a rule. So if you're showing a long video, people will get bored. Okay, show a short video or a beautiful, compelling photographs, some pictures, some graphical representations, or whatever it is. These things will, attract the attention of the audiences, my dear friends. So finally, my dear friends, the question handling. As far as the question handling is concerned, I always want to tell my participants that there are two strategies, my dear friends. What are these two strategies? If you are having a lot of time, okay, you can ask the people to raise the questions, and then and there you can clarify the questions and move forward. Or the other scenario, if you don't have time, if you have limited time, okay, then you can ask them to wait till the end. You tell them that you are going to give 5 minutes time or 10 minutes time, at the end, and let them reserve the questions, towards the end, so that after you complete your presentation, okay, you can take up the questions and clarify the questions. So this is how you have to deal with the questions. And finally, you have to end with a big bang. Big bang, like, that is the closing. Okay, the way you have opened up, the way you have introduced the subject, okay, in the same way, with a big bang, with a great impact, you should be able to, close your presentation. Like, as a public speaker, I can ask a question. Okay, if you want to, I can just say that if you want to become a great speaker, if you want to become a great orator, if you want to become a great presenter, okay, it's not a rocket science. Believe in yourself and start working on yourself, and then definitely within no time you will be able to become a great speaker. So so work on yourself and become a great speaker. So like that, with a message, with a quotation, or with a statistics, or whatever it is, appropriately, accordingly, okay, you can use any of these strategies and close your presentation or a speech with a big bang, with a great impact. So these are all the, some of the things, you are supposed to, understand about the content and structure, my dear friends. So we have seen, how the body language plays an important role, and it is given 55% of the weightage. How the voice also makes a lot of difference, and is given 38% of weightage. And then the language, and then the words what you use also is given 7% of the weightage. Whatever it is, my dear friends, finally I'd like to tell you that, okay, you can become a great speaker. Finally, I'd like to end this presentation with action plan. If you ask me, sir, tell us some tips, or tell us, okay, what we are supposed to do if I want to become a great speaker. First and foremost thing, my dear friends, is believe in yourself. You can make it. You can become a great speaker. So believe, tell yourself that I can do it. After all, it is not a rocket science. It's not a rocket science. Anybody can become. Okay. Public speaking is one of the important skills, and you require that, and you can do it. Only thing is you have to believe in yourself. So believe in yourself. Tell yourself that you can do it, and it is not a rocket science. And required, if required, you can sign up for a training program. So, like, instead of reading a book also helps you to some extent, and the watching videos also will help you to some extent. But there is no substitute to a training program, a live training program, or an online training program. If you sign up, for a training program, given by a seasoned trainer, a seasoned, uh, teacher, then nothing like that. You can pick up the skills, you can practice the skills, he can mentor you as a speaker. Okay, let me tell you, my dear friends, if you look at any great speaker, a political leader or a business leader, or for that matter any leader, okay, all these leaders okay, must have gone through some kind of a training program. Okay, I myself, I mentored many people to become great speakers. Maybe some, political leaders, maybe some business leaders, maybe some great professionals, maybe doctors, some engineers. Okay, whichever may be the profession. Okay, so there is no match for any training program. So training program becomes very, very important if you want to become a great speaker, my dear friends. If possible, you can also sign up for a program. And the next is think like a speaker. For example, okay, like if you are supposed to give a presentation after 3 days, okay, now just supply the thought of the topic, okay, to your subconscious mind. Let your subconscious mind, process the topic or process the idea at the back of the mind. Okay, and while you are attending the, daily, responsibilities, your subconscious mind will be gathering all the ideas. And they, like you can, whenever it is possible, just sit down and then put these ideas, on a paper or in the laptop, and then note down the ideas, and prepare structure, and then do some mental rehearsals, and then go and deliver the lecture. So think like a great speaker, and you have to see yourself as a great speaker in your subconscious mind. Then only you'll become a great speaker. Take initiative and utilize every opportunity, my dear friends. Whenever there is any opportunity, go onto the stage or stand up in the meeting and speak confidently. Every opportunity is a stepping stone for your success. Every opportunity. Okay, with my experience, I'm telling you. Okay, you are attending a meeting, a farewell meeting, or an induction meeting, or a training program, or a conference, or any meeting for that matter. Okay, and take that opportunity and speak up. Then that will give you, the more number of times you show up in a meeting and conference and speak your mind out, then that will add a feather in the cap. Okay, and you'll become more and more confident every day. And do some rehearsals, mental rehearsals, and practice, 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 and practice. Okay, just stand in front of the mirror and then practice, or go to the beach if it is nearby, or go to an isolated place and shout, and then like practice the voice. You have to practice your vocal cords in such a way that you should be able to speak, okay, with confidence and loudly. Great speakers do all these things, my dear friends. And finally, YouTube is a great idea, is a great resource. You have a lot of videos by, in different languages, by great speakers and great orators. And like if you pick up some of the points from my presentations, and like make a mental note of these points, and while watching any presentation on the YouTube, any speech on the YouTube, okay, you will be able to understand that all these strategies are being followed by these speakers. Then only they are able to reach out to the audiences in a very, very effective manner. So my dear friends, watching great speakers. Okay, if you may be having some favorite speakers, like the political leaders or some professionals in your area of operation, or anybody, like if you have any great or favorite speakers, do watch some videos, and then note down some important points, learn from the videos. So these are some of the points I just wanted to tell you and share with you as an action plan if you want to become a great speaker. So my dear friends, uh, thank you very much. So sir, so thank you very much for the opportunity provided, sir. So this is a short presentation about effective communication skills and public speaking skills. So thank you, sir. And I look forward for any questions or anything from your side, sir. Thank you, sir.
You stop the screen.
Yes, sir.
Screen. Okay.
Sir.
Okay. Professor Maheshwar, I'm very, you have highlighted everything, whatever we can learn in actually, because generally people take about in MBA about 6 months to course for this. And even
Sir.
Harvard also actually recently visited a number of business schools, and they also making
Sir.
presentation for communication presentation first semester, second semester, third semester till they leave the campus. And especially this is very important for the upcoming executives and working executives.
Sir,
I've seen most of the
sir,
people when they wanted to make a presentation to their division heads, they're not able to make any presentations. They have knowledge. I've seen most of the
yes,
technocrats, they're excellent in their product development or technology, but they're not able to express what is ideas. That is the reason they're not able to get promotions. I've seen some
yes,
people
sir,
for 1 decade, they still remain in the same position, but whatever he has
sir,
made production development, the fellow is having good communication, he's going and making presentation to the heads of the departments, and they're getting the, all the credit for it.
sir,
That means,
true, sir,
you have to work smart. Work smart actually gives this public speaking. This is very
true, sir.
important. I've seen even most of the politicians also, and he is
Yes,
coming,
sir,
for example, in Telangana, we are seeing somebody coming from Nagar or somewhere from some part of the districts, and he is able to impress, and he is able to impress the public. And wherever he is standing in the elections, he is winning the election.
sir,
We have seen in the working together programs in Singareni colleges also. Earlier, they used to only collecting at the money at the gate, membership 10 rupees. Then we told
sir,
them, why don't you make them good communicators? Good communicators. No, sir, we are going to study 10th class. I said, 10th class, intermediate makes no difference. Then we have given them, a communications. I think you also come to such programs. And we have
yes, sir,
given them the training programs. And most of the people now, they become MLS.
sir,
MLS, that means they reach their, whatever the level they can reach. And they're in different political parties now. So
sir,
public speaking really matters. Anyway, I would like
sir,
to thank you, Maheshwar, for making excellent presentation. People to understand what is the communication,
sir.
how to and what is the effective presentation, and what is public speaking.
Please support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to Dr. Ratan Talks channel.